Are you a business owner stuck in fear, doubt, and worry about what the marketplace will look like in the future? Then this show is for you. Strap on your seatbelt and get ready to disrupt and innovate. Here's your host, Lisa Levy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Disrupt and Innovate, where we bring you the brightest minds and creative thinkers from various fields. Today, I am thrilled to have with me Julie Trombley. She is a sales automation badass with vast experience in business automation. Julie is becoming a trusted advisor for real estate professionals. Her dedication to staying at the forefront of industry advancements ensures that her clients benefit from the latest tools and strategies. Julie personalizes each engagement to ensure her clients' unique needs, challenges, and goals are holistically tailored into solution. And see, that time I did it all by myself, and I loaded them. I apologize. Yeah, thank you. This is not my norm.
Third time is a charm.
It is. Third time is the charm. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Disrupt and Innovate podcast, where we bring you the brightest minds and creative thinkers from various fields. Today, I am thrilled to have Julie Trombley as our special guest. Julie is a sales automation badass. With her vast experience in business automation, she's become a trusted advisor for real estate professionals. Her dedication to staying at the forefront of industry advancements ensures that her clients benefit from the latest tools and strategies. Her personalized approach involves understanding each client's unique needs, their challenges and goals, allowing her to develop tailored solutions that deliver tangible results. Stay tuned with this engaging and informative discussion where we'll help you take your real estate business to the next level. Julie, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, Lisa.
I am so excited to hear your story because you have had a fantastic journey to get where you are today. And I can kind of introduce you, but our audience really benefits most from hearing you tell us about your background and your experience, the journey that brought you to what you're doing today and why it's important.
Absolutely. I had spent 26 years in the Realtor Association world, and that's from a state association, a couple of locals, and honestly, I was an assistant, to a real estate office at one point too. So, but then I realized when I was probably about 53, this isn't what I wanted to be when I grew up. I didn't want to, I was struggling in the position I had at the association. I was miserable. I was coming home and would be like bitching to my husband, and that wasn't fair to him. Just he had his own stuff from his job. Then for me to come home and be, so I had attended a personal development conference. Before I left for that conference, I had applied for another job. I was sure I was going to get that job. And I'm sitting here in this personal development conference. Everybody's woohoo and everybody's having a great time. And I get the email that I didn't get the job. And while everybody around me is all in this hyped up and excited, I'm sitting in my seat just sobbing. Like, this was my ticket out. And now what am I going to do? There was like a group, Facebook group for the people who were attending this conference. And, I had kind of told them about what had happened, like how disappointed I was. I didn't get this job. And somebody in the group said, have you ever thought of starting your own business? And at the time, no, I hadn't. And then it was like, maybe I should look into this. So I decided to build it started out as a virtual expert business. I went through training and how to build my business from the ground up. January of 2020, I went part-time so I could focus more on building my business. And Friday, March 13th of 2020, when the world was shutting down for COVID, not knowing that was happening, I gave my 2 weeks notice to my job. Funny enough, they were my first client because nobody knew how to do my job. So they had to hire me to train somebody. But yeah, after 19 years, I just decided to quit and just go all in on running my own business. And I've always done tech related work within my corporate world. So when I started my business, it was just kind of random tech support until I became a certified entrepreneur expert.
So thank you for sharing your story and being so, authentic and vulnerable with it, right? Those moments where the ground falls out beneath our feet for many people are the catalyst to entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
And it sounds like, I made the choice to literally stop, drop, and walk away with zero plan whatsoever. But you had been thinking about it, right? You had it on the side, you had it growing. And for the audience listening, I've always advised my approach is the do not do what I did because it's stupid. Example. And made the big, you made it so much harder, but right, you had started the planning and you were ready to make that move. It's so amazing to me the number of stories that I hear about things that happened. People made those changes in 2008, 2009, people who made the changes in 2020.
Mhm.
And how many actual success stories we have of people taking that time and taking that leap when everything around us was burning to the ground, metaphorically speaking. We are, so congratulations on that journey and that bold move.
Oh, thank you.
And talk to me now a little bit about what it is that you're helping your clients overcome. What are the pain points and problems that you're helping them solve?
I'm helping them solve a few things. First is their fear of tech, of not wanting to, they're doing so many things still, paper and pen and or very very limited tech, like just kind of winging it and doing a lot of things manually, you know. And I just want to take that, not only that fear of technology, but and showing them how a system put together can automate so many of the things that they're doing on a daily, weekly basis that's manual, that's going to free up their time then to focus on their clients and listing and selling properties and things like that. So my goal is to um not only help them with the technology part, but get them more visible, get them following up reasonably on a reasonable time frame with leads, building their reputation with, current and past clients, nurturing people who may be coming into their system that maybe aren't ready right now to buy, but keeping them nurtured. So they're ready at that point. They've had this relationship that they've built. So when they're ready to buy or sell, they know exactly who they are going to call to do this for them.
Absolutely. And, I know that you're serving the real estate industry very specifically right now, but for everybody else in the audience who's listening, right? Julie's just taken you through the journey of what it takes to build our business. The
Yeah.
industry itself isn't as important as understanding that as the founder, as the person who is building and doing it, there are times when our energy is best served not running the business and having a tech stack behind you that can drive the automation of touches with our clients or our prospects is so critical to set a foundation for top of funnel so that we can grow and scale, right? Because
Right.
oftentimes in the early stages of a business, we get stuck in the loop of playing with one customer, one client, one or two or three. But for our business to be successful, we need 20.
Right.
And the foundation that you're building gives that individual, the realtor, the broker, the opportunity to be able to be with their clients and not making sure that that back end manual stuff that they've probably been doing for a while is
Right.
sucking up time that is so much more valuable in other places.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
What are some of and you described some of the challenges, right? That fear of technology. How do you help navigate through that? Because I am I am not a technologist. I have worked in IT previously as a project manager, very proudly not a technologist, right? But fear of the unknown, is
Mhm.
always a challenge, and technology is a big unknown for most people. So how do
Right.
you work through that with them?
One thing is though too that I think technology, a lot of people think it's gadgets or code or things like that too, and it's not just that. It's like it is the systems and it's being able to, I guess, thrive in a digital world. Being because this is where we're at. The reality is we're in a digital world, um, and just to leverage the gap between what they know about technology, especially those who are not tech savvy, and then just helping them to step into something that's going to be a little bit more helpful to them by embracing the technology. You don't have to be scared of it. I know a lot of people are, but then you have people like me who want to help you. And know that you're going to have your strengths and weaknesses. You're going to have your strengths in what you do. You need to get the help from the people who have the strengths in the areas where you are weaker. So that's where I want to come in and be that person that supports you with the tech and taking care of that stuff in the back end. And I'm not, as far as like with realtors, I'm not talking like the listings and all of that. I'm talking your actual running your business and streamlining your processes and just giving you that ability to get that off of your plate so you can focus on your clients and properties.
Because the reality is, so I'll share this perspective. My father was a real estate developer, and my mother, and he was a broker, and she did the development, and she was the licensed contractor. And this is 40, almost 50 years ago, right? There was no technology. And my dad is now very much a retired person, but still, right, one of those people who likes to get his fingers in things. And he went to an association meeting that he hadn't been to probably, I'll be honest, like in a decade. And he was introducing himself to people who were the children of people he had done business with for decades. And as he was leaving the room, he overheard a conversation, right? Because everybody was transacting digitally and he has no
Mhm.
technology in his hands, right? And it was an aha moment as he heard some of these young guys who probably are, 40, but these younger guys saying, oh, that guy, he might be a dinosaur, but in his day, he and my dad did blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Technology is real, and all of his knowledge and all of his capabilities and all of his network, it is ancient history, and how they
Mhm.
did business is so arcane. And
Mhm.
yep, there's probably a handful of them in every market who are still the old guys who still sit down for coffee at the coffee shop and make things happen.
Right.
But the one thing that is not today is scalable.
Right.
And so as you were talking through, that description, right? One of the things with technology that we have, everybody listening, you have to give up this idea. I promise you, you can't break it.
Right.
Right? When you have a tech stack behind you, there's really nothing you can do that's going to break it. And Julie will be there, right, to help you undo the little messes that might come along the way. But not trying to use it is the biggest downside to where you're at. And
Absolutely.
that fear, you just have to jump in with both feet, with a partner who really knows how to help you be successful. Julie, do you have any stories from working with clients in the past several years where you can share that, we made the mess and we fixed it and it was so much bigger, so much better because of the learning opportunities we had?
But I do have a past client that I worked with. She was a coach, and while I didn't make the mess, I used technology to clean up the mess. She had um I came in, I was brought on board and I was doing some different things. And then somebody mentioned about the outstanding invoices. Like, can you help us with that? I'm on. I get to looking, I'm like, I don't see where you guys are running any kind of a failed payment automation because they were doing, monthly payments and, if somebody, their credit card failed or, whatever the reason is, how we all get those notifications. Well, she didn't have anything like that set up and she had over $80,000 worth of outstanding invoices that hadn't been paid because of failed credit cards. So I set up and ran and put all these people into this failed payment automation. And within a couple of weeks, she had gotten back $64,000. So, there are certain, depending on what you're doing, there are certain automations that I think should just be automatically set up in your business. Like if you're taking payments for something, have that failed payment. If you're selling something, have an abandoned cart automation. So things aren't, somebody visits your website, but for whatever reason, they're on your sales page. They didn't finish the pay, going through the process. Send an email to them and ask them, like give them the chance to go back. I mean, I think we've gotten those too. You left something in your cart kind of thing, then that's because those people are your warmest leads. They're already on your order page. They were already there. Whatever, their internet went down. Somebody was at the door, kids screaming in the other room, whatever reason they didn't finish the process. You're giving them that ability to be like, oh yeah, I was gonna. I don't know about you, because I get that whole squirrel moment. I'm off doing something else and forget, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that. So having that reminder email of, hey, you had this in your cart, is, here's your opportunity to go back and finish purchasing it.
So for the audience listening, I want to really hit the point. So in that failed card processing situation, there was $80,000 past due. Creating the automation for the failed payment in 2 weeks recovered 80% of that outstanding money. Technology is such an enabler. That is what it is designed to do, so that you don't have to worry about that stuff. Because I promise you, regardless of what industry you're in, unless it's credit card processing, right, that is not something that you are a subject matter expert in. And as a founder, as a real estate agent, broker, those are things where you would not be wanting to invest your time and energy. You would be getting no return on that investment. That would be wasted time, money, and energy. So, Julie, thank you so much for that story, because that is a big, big impact in a short window of time with a configuration in a system that is really simple and actually kind of out of the box, right? It's something that needed to be turned on.
Right.
Somebody just didn't know what they didn't know.
Exactly.
As you're building your business and as you're looking into the future, what is the real impact that you see, that what is the long-term value of your partnerships with your clients? What does that look like for them?
Well, for them to get the right automations and nurtures set up for them, I mean, because we all know that real estate's going to be kind of the long game, because especially if you're, working with a client now, it could be 10, 20 years down the road before you're going to, you don't know. So it's just to make sure that they're top of mind on a regular basis, and maybe not even something that client may need them for, but they can refer somebody. They're gonna be at their hairdresser and hear somebody, saying that they're, looking to sell their house or whatever, just making sure that their reputation is thought of when anybody's talking about looking to buy or sell a house. That there's, that person, that realtor is the person who is top of mind, because they've been nurturing that relationship this whole time.
Absolutely fabulous. Julie, for those people who are listening to us and not watching, and even for those who might be watching, will you let them know how to find you? What are the best ways to find you? Your website, your socials?
So my email, if they want to reach my email, it's julie@tackleyourtodO.com. My website is tackleyourtodO.com. And I'd say I'm probably more active on LinkedIn. So it's Julie A. Trombley on LinkedIn. So they can connect with me there as well.
Fabulous. For everybody who's listening, all of those links will be in the show notes so that it's easy for you to find her. And we've had a fabulous conversation. And while Julie is right now serving the real estate market, the tips and the tricks that she shared with us today, the impact any entrepreneur can gain value from the insights, was a wonderful conversation. For my audience, you know my rules. Don't get left behind. Join me next time.
That's it for today's episode of Disrupt and Innovate. Head over to iTunes and subscribe to the show. Every single week, one lucky listener that posts a review on iTunes will win the grand prize drawing, a $15,000 private VIP day with Lisa Levy. And be sure to head over to disruptandinnovate.com and get your free copy of Lisa's gift and join us on our next episode.